슈퍼, 태자, 로그. 아프리카 TV 프리급 스튜디오 라이브 2020 GSL 시즌 2 코드 S The Coming Storm.
Welcome back, everybody. It's time for the winners match. Solar versus Rogue. This should be a very interesting ZVZ.
Yeah, I mean, these are two of the best Korean Zergs going at it. They do not play exactly the same style, but I think they're a good match for each other. Rogue is someone you think of as going to the late game, someone who's going to want things like Lurkers and Vipers, and Solar's kind of a strategic guy. He might have something very interesting before that, and he can play that in-game reasonably well as well.
Yeah, I want to see what kind of build Solar prepped for this.
Yeah, because I think that this is probably an important match to prep. I think both of them should feel like they can take it.
Also, in Korean ZVZ, we tend not to see them cheese each other out as much, but maybe we'll see a little bit more and more of that.
Yeah,
ZVZ can be a matchup where you do all-ins, but it seems like that's more of a foreigner thing to do and have success
Rogue
with.
knows all about that, doesn't he?
Yes, he does, Artosis, but don't ask him about it. So we're going to go to Everdream for game one. Solar versus Rogue here. Is Rogue supposed to win this? Is he technically the favorite here?
I think technically, but I think it's close.
I think you're probably right. All right, game one is ready. Let's go and decide who will go on first to the round of 16.
준비되었다. 한번 시작해볼까? 솔라, 강민수.
What was that sniffle giggle, Artos?
What Solar did with his face.
지네어 그루밍스 로그, 이병렬.
You ever notice the larvae just turn into the egg? They're just like little baby larvae going around and they go pop, and they're a bubble.
Actually, I've never really tried to pay attention. Like, does the larva expand?
It doesn't. I was just watching.
It just, like, disappears and the egg appears?
Yeah. It just eggs.
But it doesn't, like, flatten out or anything? There's no in-between animation?
We'll watch next game, all right? But I'll show you. I never really paid attention either, but now I know.
Yeah, well,
it's funny because, like...
Now I don't care about anything else. That's the only thing I want to know.
You know what's really funny, actually? Speaking of, like, just your stream, I didn't know that on the win screen or the lose screen in Brood War that there was music that would play.
Really?
I didn't know about that.
Oh.
And now I know, because when you win or lose a game, you'll stay on that screen. You're somebody who actually sits there.
You gotta suck it in, Taste.
So sometimes you'll be like ranting about stuff, and it's like that music was made for you to rap about how messed up Protoss is during it.
Yeah.
Like bum, bum, bum.
I didn't know that there was victory music, only defeat.
But I never knew that. I never noticed that part of the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like I never noticed the larva's just egg.
I can't see it because that one popped up under the egg, so like it went away in an egg.
Don't worry,
appeared,
we're gonna see this in game 2 no matter what.
Okay.
I promise you.
I'm excited about it.
I went to both the pro gamers. I said, make your larva turn into eggs, and they just stared at me blankly and walked away.
They could never have won without you.
Yeah.
All right, third hatch coming up on both sides. Mirrored builds.
Yelling speed coming here. ZVZ is one of the matchups that's, if they're both doing the same thing, it's just entirely self-evident in the production tab, and we kind of got to wait until we get a deviation from that. But I think ZVZ is one of the best mirror matchups in RTS, to be honest.
Yeah, Starcraft 2 ZVZ is quite strong.
Yeah, it's.
I think everyone kind of agrees. It's like Starcraft 2 TVT and ZVZ are both quite good. I think everyone thinks TVT is a bit better. And then in Starcraft 1, TVT is quite good.
Starcraft 1 TVT is quite good. Only you think that, Artosis.
No, it's actually quite good. There's like a lot of variety to it, and it's actually interesting.
That's true. It's interesting, but I think a lot of people don't enjoy watching
Yeah, because
it
it's long, I think, is why.
It's long.
But StarCraft 2 PvP, StarCraft 1 PvP, and ZVZ. Woo-wee! If we could fix those matchups,
yeah,
I think we would.
It's tricky. Well, I think StarCraft 2 PvP has been interesting at times, but now it seems like there's
without the Mothership Core no more, though.
Not a lot of stability in the matchup.
Yeah.
Okay, no scout with that Ling. We do have the Roach Warren coming down here for Rogue.
All right, yeah, and +1 on both sides.
Yep.
Roach Warren coming up for Solar as well, just a little bit later.
So the builds are similar enough, but you know, we're having a little bit of a different ordering of how the players get there. We have what looks like a defensive Baneling being made over here for Rogue. And that's just in case there's a plume of Lings that tries to run by. You'll have enough that you can pop that Baneling and inhibit them from getting inside of your base.
First Roach is being made here by Rogue. He actually just started another Roach Warren. It's kind of interesting.
10 Roaches now.
Wait, okay, so Rogue, he started the layer as the Ling ran up and then canceled it.
Why is he making another Roach Warren and 10 Roaches?
Okay, so the first one wasn't scouted, so I think he wanted it to seem
like
it
good call.
was much later because he's actually doing a Roach all in.
Yeah. No, that's an excellent call.
A heavy Roach attack.
So he tried to telegraph that his Roaches were not even there yet because the building was coming. That's a brilliant move. Let's see how strong this is against Solar.
He even canceled his +1. So he had everything looking like he was doing a certain thing, and now he's moving out. He's used all of his money on this. Ling Bane Roach attack incoming.
Yep, he's coming up now. And this is quite a lot of Banes over here.
Yeah, I think he wants his Banes to stop the other Banes, because he does have a lot of Lings coming in, but good targeting there from Solar. I feel like Solar's going to hold this. A lot of Lings coming up. Look, if he can't target down the Banes, there's no way. All right, good targeting there. Does get rid of them. Gets his own Lings on top, but with these Spines moving up, is Solar going to be able to hold this?
I don't know.
I think he is.
It's a weird spot because he's got 2 locations to defend. Okay, those Bane connects are literally as good as you could ever ask for. A lot more Lings are coming up. There's more Banes here to try to mute the Lings over here of Solar.
Yeah, some more Banes connecting into some of these Roaches. Of course, they don't do that much damage. Still Roaches left alive. If he can get rid of the Roaches of Rogue, he should be all right here.
No Queens were pulled with this, by the way.
Yeah.
I guess you need as many of those transfuses, or you need as much larva as possible.
Yeah, for sure. All right, backs up towards that Spine in the natural. Still good defense from Solar. He's up 10 workers right now. He has that additional attack upgrade. Everything's looking really good for him, even getting Roach speed. This is a bad scenario for Rogue.
Yeah. These are attacks that are not intended to slow your opponent down. They're intended to end the game. And so Solar, you know, probably feeling pretty comfortable now that he's held everything off.
Yeah, well, this is, like, look, he's getting +2 in Roach speed and kind of getting his drones to exactly where he wants them, but the drones are slow and the tech is slow here for Rogue. So it's kind of hard to imagine. Basically, nothing bad can happen to Solar. He cannot die.
No.
And now he's actually droning up quite a bit and throwing down a Spire. So I think he might realize that Rogue is in this kind of weird position where basically he has to keep making Roaches because Solar could kill him otherwise, right? Because he just had his drones up quicker. But to go into the Spire, it seems really quite brilliant.
Yeah, it's a smart move. Right now, Rogue is in the dark. I think, you know, had Solar counterattacked, then Rogue would have run in with those Lings into the third and done a lot of damage there. But I think Solar's playing the patient game.
Yeah. I think this is a good way to try to close a game like this. Or
I agree.
To try to get even further ahead might be the best way to play.
Whenever you see these aggressive attacks, one of the mistakes even good players will make is then you know, after they've held it, they'll counterattack. And then that's when the smaller counterattack comes and does the damage the initial big attack didn't get to do. You know? So I think staying defensive and patient is definitely the right move here.
Well, Rogue does have a lot of units ready for a counterattack in the left top part of the map.
Right.
So very kind of cool move that he's waiting for, like some sort of massive move out and for Solar to make some sort of mistake. But the thing is, the move out's actually going to be with Mutas first.
And with Mutas coming out and no 4th base here for Rogue, This is going to be difficult for him to get into any position where he can really recover and win this game.
Yeah.
Everything on paper is pointing to Solar right now.
It really is. All right, let's see. Rogue is trying to come in here and attack, but with those mutas coming out...
Yeah, the angle, though, is pretty bad here for Solar in this initial fight.
The mutas will add a lot of damage here over time, but the actual army size is a bit bigger for Rogue. He's trying to get a surround on these roaches with the lings, but good micro back from Solar. Can't really stop everything from coming up the ramp, unfortunately.
Wow, this is actually an insane number here for Rogue. More roaches are coming out, but he's getting basically into the heart of the entire territory here for Solar. And, you know, these mutas, they will eventually win the fight. The question is, how much more damage can these roaches and ravagers do?
Yeah.
They're going all the way into the heart now.
Well, it seems like no real damage to the economy. He's basically just traded them unit for unit, and that should favor Solar.
GG.
Yeah.
All right. It's kind of crazy how far those units quit.
Yeah. Rogue made a couple good moves there, but Solar was just on top of his defense. He chose the right continuation as well.
Right.
I think that's such an important aspect. Right? If he had just made roaches and gone back across the map, does he
would have
win
lost
with that? I mean,
he could have actually lost with that, I think.
Yeah, there's more of a possibility, even though maybe it feels like a safer thing to do in a lot of ways to just use your macro advantage.
Yeah.
He utilized that macro advantage to get a further tech advantage, and I like that. It's good stuff.
Pillars of Gold is where we'll go for game number 2. Solar versus Rogue here. Gotta say, Solar played that very well. I would be very concerned for either of the two players in the losers match right now. Both these guys are looking untouchable. Anyways, game 2 is ready. Let's see what happens. Right now.
경기가 준비되었다. 한번 시작해 볼까?
Wait, watch.
강민수.
Watch him. Here, we'll get him on either shot here. Did Larva have an animation? They just go pop. Watch.
Let's see it. Let's see it.
Let's go. Ready?
It's covered up.
진에어 크레밍스 로그 이병렬.
Oh.
Darn it.
Okay, there it is. It went. I got it on my screen. That's
Oh.
right. My screen is the one where I see all the
yeah.
endgame
I just
stuff.
saw it.
No.
Huh. That's weird. I want my money back.
I know. Oh, Blizzard! So, this game. Again, mirror builds here. Interesting to see Rogue elected to do a pretty aggressive all-in, and his only follow-up, of course, was to just do another all-in, because he's pretty much erased all other avenues to bring the game to a victory.
Well, he did it in a very tricky manner, but Solar wasn't too greedy there. He figured it out eventually.
That was a strategy that was executed by Rogue that shows that he knows Solar is paying attention to everything and will react perfectly.
Yeah.
And so he's literally throwing out red herrings and being inefficient just because he knows he can probably
+1,
flip the game on his head.
The late Roach Warren. These are all kind of important aspects. Well, I kind of hope to see Rogue aim more towards a later game.
Same here.
I do like his late game ZVZ. I think it's really strong.
One thing about Solar is, you know, his success has been so much off of really good planning, very original play style. He's a super bright player, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
He's had a lot of approaches as a Zerg that are just like, oh, he figured this one out.
Yeah, he's the guy who started Hydra Bane against Protoss.
Yeah.
He figured that out in 2015.
Also, there was a whole era of him just doing every crazy Nidus build ever.
Yep, he was the #1 utilizer of Nidus for a long time. He was the #1 utilizer of Swarm Hosts for a long time.
He's definitely had a lot of great ideas. I don't think he's been in the position where he is the all-time great Zerg that everybody looks at. He's been overshadowed by other very impressive Zergs, but he clearly is one of the biggest contributors to the Zerg theory.
I think so. I think you're right about that. Definitely an unsung hero in many, many ways. And the thing is, he's been a little bit up and down as well. There was a long period where he was always round of 16, round of 8. Then he kind of dropped off a little bit. He came back up. But he's not really a champion, right? He's like, he gets deep in tournaments, but we don't see him winning. He's generally top 4 Korean Zerg. You know, Dark, Rogue, and Sue are always kind of, well, I guess he's in their shadow.
Just slightly.
If he's a shadow, they're in his person.
We have 16 lings that were just made here, barreling across the map, and what is an even earlier aggressive play here. Now, this is one where we have to see how each baneling connects with lings, if they do, and if they do connect with lings, how many. And this is probably the most volatile point of ZVZ, is if one player does this to the other. Keep in mind that the creep is not connected, so it's hard to get the defensive units where you need them. There's a lot of areas to attack. You could even see the Lings of Solar dart into the main. He's backed off for now, though. No, I'm sorry, he's not backed off.
Yeah, he's still microing furiously here. It is just a few Lings and Banes, but as more Lings come out, Solar runs away, and that's a really smart move.
But the next phase of the attack is already here. 9 roaches being produced.
All right, Solar keeping that pressure on. He's kind of forced some Banes, forced some Lings. Those aren't going to be as strong as the roaches coming up, especially considering Solar's going to add into the Ling Bane. Roaches can help him target down other Banelings and then win that fight.
And, yeah, we have to wait and see. Whoa. It's so
He
funny.
thought about it.
Yeah, it was the same thing when I cast at that moment. I thought, well, do you want to get that? I mean, normally, you know, Banes want to hit workers, but really in this game, it's not the function of the what they're supposed to do.
Mid-game, absolutely.
Yeah,
there, no,
early
no,
game,
no.
you're actually trying to get Lings, but it's a funny moment
Yeah.
because for some reason they're there, and you know that reflex is there with us all. So he takes out that first queen. More Banes are coming forward here. Rogue is trying to sandbag the progress of the rush, but the Lings spill through. More Banes on the way. The queen will go down.
Oh my god, with all these spines though, and the Banes popping out. Is he going to be able to break through? He takes out a spine. Another one he's going to go after. Ling's in the main base of Rogue right now.
The spine's going to go down. The banelings are connecting with the roaches, but the roaches are tanky enough and now being turned into Ravagers. They still are going to have a little bit of time here to try to help take the fight.
Oh my god, he's done enough splitting, morphing some of these very hurt units into Ravagers. And it feels like Solar might get it here.
Yeah,
might
we're
just
also
finish him.
in the way of all rally points now. GG, Solar takes it 2-0. That's actually a pretty exciting plot twist. And you can see, you can feel the adrenaline here on Solar.
Yeah, yeah, well deserved. First place in his group.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't expect Solar to 2-0 him, to be honest.
Look at Rogue, not happy with
Well,
this.
he's got to think he's probably playing Tasia in that last match, and that was a close one. That could have gone the other way.
It's really going to come down to, assuming Tasia wins, it's going to come down who can adapt better after having already played a series. We're going to have an interview now with Solar and see how he's feeling. It'll be translated by Andy. Go ahead, Andy.
All right, the first player moving out of Group C is Solar.
사실
How do you feel?
게임이 되게 잘 됐었는데 최근에 GSL이 이게 다가올수록
And recently,
연습에서 잘 안 풀리더라고요.
as
사실
GSL came close, my
걱정을
practice
많이
didn't go well.
그래도 제가 생각했던 대로 판이 잘 그려져서
But I'm glad my strategies and builds worked well today.
멸망전 때 준우승으로 좋은 폼 보여주셨고
During
오늘도
Destruction match, you've shown a good performance.
좋은 움직임 보여주셨거든요.
And today you've shown a good one as well.
잘안 되셨어요?
So,
사실 이게
how was the second
GSL이 다가올수록 제가 레더 경기나 뭐 다른 선수가 연습을 할 때 약간 부담감이 저도 모르게 느껴지는지로
during practice, you know, I had a lot of pressure.
오기 전에도 걱정을 많이 하고 잠도 막 엄청 자지 못했는데
And I
그래도
couldn't sleep much.
준비를 진짜 많이 했거든요.
And I really made thorough preparation.
2주 동안 준비한 많은 빌드들이랑 시간들이 너무 헛되지 않아서 너무 좋네요.
And I'm
네.
glad my
오늘
efforts
경기가
bore fruit.
흥미로웠던 건 강민수 선수가 좋아하시는 그 일벌레를 좋아하시는 성향도
Solar, you know,
전혀
you have the
나타나지
tendency
않았고요.
to
또
like
공격적인 스탠스를
larvas
많이
and
보여주신
make
것
more
같아요.
drones.
이런 것도 일종의 연구나 고민의 이런 흔적으로 좀 변화하신 걸까요?
So did you
사실
adapt to the
제가
opponent's style
24강에서
today?
떨어지는 패턴들을 한번 분석을 해봤어요.
I mean, I analyzed the patterns where I get eliminated.
근데 항상 저는 그러니까 상대들이 항상 저랑 할 때는 무조건 뭔가 전략적인 수를 준비를 해오더라고요.
And it feels like the
그래서
opponent always
첫 경기도
brings out a
그렇고
really unique
무조건 상대가 올인을
strategy
한다는
when they play against
생각으로
me.
일부러 그냥 일벌레 찍을 수 있는 거 안 찍고 병력을 찍었는데
So I did go
되게
for
잘
more
풀렸던 것
production
같아요. 네.
than going for the workers.
오늘 그래서 또 그런 모습 보여주신 것 같습니다. 프로토스전은 밸런스 패치와 묶어서 질문을
Again, I'm
드려볼게요.
going to talk about the patch now.
프로토스의 보호막 충전소가 건설되기 전 타이밍을 날카롭게 잡아서 또 판단하시는 모습 보여주셨는데 이런 밸런스 패치에 대한 고민의 흔적도 느껴졌거든요. 밸런스
it
패치의
feels
영향을
like you're
많이
not
받고 계신지
too
그래서 또
satisfied with the
변화가
balance
있으신지 궁금합니다.
So what are your thoughts?
사실 토스전은 그래도 확실히 여왕 사거리가 줄다 보니까 프로토스
Well, the
선수들이 요즘 많이
ZVP.
우주 관문류나 이렇게 새로운 전략들을 다시 시도하더라고요.
I mean, the Poros are starting to
그리고
go
그
for
새로운
Stargate
그
and
광자가
other builds.
그 배터리가 너무 사기 같아요.
And the shield battery overcharge,
좀-
I think it's too OP.
이게 마나가 75로 알고 있는, 아니,
I believe
50으로
the
알고 있는데
mana
좀
cost
마나를
is
좀
like
많이 들여야
50?
될 것 같아요.
So I think it's gonna
좀
have to
사기
be
같다
more than
이렇게
50.
얘기를 해주셨습니다. 그래도 오늘 보여주신 폼이라면
Well, today,
앞으로가
but
더
you've
많이
shown a great
기대가
form today,
되는데요.
and we
이번
can definitely
시즌
look forward to your
좀
future
각오가
matches.
달라 보이시거든요. 어떠세요?
And you look very
사실
strong
저번
right now,
시즌은
Solar.
제가 슈퍼 토너먼트 끝나고
Well, last
16강까지
season,
시간이 한참
after the Super
있었기
Tournament, I had a lot of
약간
time until the
나태해지고
next season.
해이해지더라고요.
And you know, I was
그래가지고
kind of
확실히 준비가
complacent.
덜 된 모습을 전태양
So I've
선수가
definitely
준비가
shown
선수가
a
보인 것 같아서
not a good
오늘
performance
끝나고
against
바로 가서
TY.
연습해가지고 계속 16강까지
So
꾸준히
I'm gonna
연습해서
go
좋은
home
모습
today and practice
보여드리도록
more
하겠습니다.
and try to show a
네, 오늘
better
변화된
performance
모습을 볼
in
수
the next
있어서 더
match.
재미있는 경기였는데요. 마지막 한마디까지
And
들어보겠습니다.
anything you want to say before you go, Solar?
부모님이랑 여자친구한테 고맙고
I'm
그리고
really grateful to my parents
항상
and my
많은
girlfriend who always
저한테
support me.
연습을 진짜 많이 도와줬어요. 이번에 선수들이 다 너무
And all the
고맙고
players have helped me with the
그리고
scrims
이제 항상
a lot.
저한테 개념을 이렇게 제 저그 개념을 박아주시는 수호 형, 윤수 형, 진혁이 너무 고맙습니다.
And all the
네,
players
세
who helped me with the
분들에게
Zerg matchup.
고마움을
Thank you.
보여주셨습니다. 다시 한번 16강 진출 축하드립니다.
Once again,
감사합니다.
congratulations, Solar. Thank you.
네, 이렇게 C조의 1위
Moment
진출자
for him that he's
강민수 선수
advancing.
만나봤는데요.
This group's
계속해서
tough. To
GSL
get out first is pretty
선수의
badass.
합류입니다.
Absolutely. Well, good on him. He
Yeah.
really outplayed Rogue there and gets to move forward. Coming up next, we're going to have Super against Tasia. It feels like it's Tasia favored, but we haven't really seen Super's PVT.
Yeah, the thing we can take away from Super's game so far is that he's got a lot of good ideas, but the execution isn't there, whereas Tasia seems to, I mean, he looks really good, man.
But do you remember how he did the same exact all-in 3 times in a row TVP?
I don't think that's going to happen this time. We got a short break. We'll see you guys in a second.